Okay, well, welcome everyone. Um, I think some of you certainly know that uh, the founder of the Madison Taiji Center and my personal friend and teacher Trisha Yu died um, uh, uh, about a week ago, um, and that's been heavy for me, not only because of that she's gone, but just the way it all transpired was very difficult and intense. And so there's that, which is a semi-private kind of grief. And then we have what's going on with in Israel and Gaza, and Ukraine and Sudan and uh, the inner cities in America, and the whole climate issue, and all of these big things. And we many of us tend to sort of separate that out. That, well, if I pay attention to the news, then I can know what's going on out there. And at the same time, there's things going on in my own personal life. But in fact, from the point of view of the Dharma and uh, Taoism, there is no separation. So the only way that the violence and death and destruction and all of the pain, emotional pain, and so on, the only way that arises is in individual people. Okay, so the whatever's happening in the world that we're aware of, or even if we're not aware of it, is arising in ourselves. And it's easy to confuse sometimes things that we think are personal traumas or personal neuroses, personal grief, or personal issues, in fact, are shared, sometimes shared by millions and millions of other people all at the same time. Uh, so um, there's an old Taoist story that talks about this, and it's about a village in ancient times, and their crops were failing because they weren't getting any rain. For weeks and weeks and weeks, they weren't getting any rain, and the people were very afraid of starvation. So they sent for this Taoist master, Qigong practitioner, Taoist master, and to help them. So this person came, and they put them up in a little hut, and they said, "Please help us." So the Taoist master said, "Okay, don't bother me." So days went by, and they just put food there and so on. And after many days, they couldn't stand it anymore. And they went and they said, uh, to the Taoist, they said, "Well, you're not doing anything." And the Taoist master said, "I'm waiting until I feel calm, and then I will." And so once the Taoist master attained that state of complete peace, then the rains came. So the point of the story is that there just is not a separation between out there and in here, particularly when it comes to collective trauma, collective grief, collective tragedy. We're not separate from it. So what that means is that really and truly, when we do Qigong, when we bring up this fresh cleansing energy from the earth and from the universe and pass it through our body, and however we're doing that, we are literally helping to cleanse that negativity from for everybody. Okay, so that there really is no separateness of personal and public. Okay, and so this is useful to remember, because it's so easy to go into despair and helplessness when we look at these intractable problems in the world, and we just sort of throw up our hands and say, well, there's nothing we can do. Well, maybe there is nothing we can do to solve that problem in the world, or little, but we can cleanse that in ourselves. And that doesn't mean denying it or getting rid of it. It just means finding a way to be in the world of the 10,000 joys and the 10,000 sorrows, to be in the world and to be somehow in harmony with the deepest energies that are flowing through it. So if that makes some kind of sense. So when these major traumas come up in the world, we can certainly feel it, and that's fine. We don't want to go into despair that we can't end it, because that's a given. We can't. I mean, we want to try, we want to do the best we can, but the nature of samsara is conflict and suffering. That's part of the nature of it. That's just the way it works here. So maybe I hope that's of some use to you, as you've been, if you've been paying attention to the news or however you're receiving it, that these emotions that it's stirring in you are the thing itself. It's not separate. Okay, so we can just sort of keep that in mind as we're doing the Qigong, because that really is why we do it. So we're going to be practicing today. See, where did I do that? Oh, yeah. We're going to be doing the heart meditation today, later, which we haven't done for quite a while. And we'll do some sitting Qigong movements too. And just want to say, Steve, thank you so much for what you sent about long COVID. And I sent that to my daughter, and she said it's very useful. She knew the, what's the man's name? The yoga teacher. I'm sorry?
Scott Anderson.
Yeah, she knows him. And I know Ray Purdy. Yeah. So, okay. Well, so here we go. Oops. Let's put this on speaker for the YouTube people. Okay, and what I tell people, if they're just for the first time practicing Qigong, hadn't even heard of it, this move here. So you want to mute yourself, Steve. This trembling mountain is everything, and so easy. The one thing we want to let go of when we're doing this is the notion of doing it right. There is a bit of a right, which is to keep the feet solidly on the floor, on the ground. But beyond that, fast, slow, moving the body different ways, it's all good. And so this is a practice of letting go, releasing, I should say, because it's not allowing what is not useful or needed to vanish, to disappear. So, and that means tension in the joints, tension in the muscles, tension in the mind. One of the symptoms of grief is a tightness in the throat. This is universal. And you may have noticed this in yourself. It doesn't mean that that's the only thing it's a symptom of, but it's certainly one of the symptoms of grief. And so we don't have to do anything with it, try to get rid of it or anything, but just focus on the breath. And particularly the out breath. So as this is a movement, a posture of releasing, we would naturally focus a little more on elongating the out breath. Places where we often get tight from emotions are the shoulders, neck, and the whole body, of course, but particularly that. And when you're doing this trembling mountain, you can raise your shoulders too, or circle them if you want to, just to promote the relaxation of those muscles, which get tense without us even knowing it. You don't have to have an intention of something to be released. In fact, it's better not to, because then you have to release that intention. It's just do the practice and focus on the sensations in the body and the movement of the body and the sensations of the breath, particularly the out breath. And aware that the mind is engaged in focusing this attention. That's a real strength of the mind, is to concentrate, to focus attention somewhere. And when that's done, that actually straightens the body. So there is a posture to this. You're moving, but you're standing in standing mountain or sitting mountain. So your chin is dropped a little, your spine is straight. If people would just do this when they feel really tense, do this for a couple minutes, it'll change the outcome. Okay. Okay, very good. Let's just slow down. Okay, and this standing mountain posture, or the standing one position, when we drop our attention down through our bodies, drop our attention down, feel the bottoms of the feet and so on, drop the attention down into the earth. We're in touch with this very, very deep stability. So pain and suffering, trauma, and so on, lives come and go. But the earth and our connection to it is stable. It doesn't mean we disregard comings and goings. It just means we're touching into this basic stability. And we feel that as weight, as heaviness, and we feel it as warmth. So if you just sense the warmth of the body, and then that which is sensing the warmth is the tingling, the quality of the sensate quality, the tingling, which is the chi. Okay, so as you know, once we go down, then we need to balance that. Okay, so we want to come up, and this one will focus on the in breath a little more. And so let's just go into tree and spring, and then we'll do 3 backwashes. So with the power of your intention, now focus on the in breath and drawing up this deep power, this deep energy and warmth from the earth. Okay, and then using the hands to direct that. The tension's going up the middle of the body, way up, way out. And then out breath. Just do this in rhythm with your breath. We'll do 3. Okay, very good. So we brought that up. Okay, and now bringing the attention to the top of the head and tucking the chin and rolling the shoulders. And the attention now goes straight down the spine. And when you are folded in half, just relax. Okay. And then reverse. Okay, the attention is in the body where the fingers are pointing. Then out, way up, and now out beyond the body, all around. This is connection to all beings. And then connection to the earth, in breath. And eyes follow the hands. Okay, very good. Okay, and the second backwash. Okay, very good. And the third backwash. Okay, so this has been about vertical. And so now the rest of this, so now we'll just consciously, using the body, we'll consciously remember, demonstrate that this heart, this body, these feelings are not separate from all the feelings in the world. So if the heart's big enough, we can, allow some of that to come in. And then in this body that's now filled with chi, as we express out, then we're transforming some of that suffering. So it's in the gesture itself. So this is kind of a gestural metta meditation. I'm not separate from all beings. Okay. All right. Very good. Go ahead and break your stance if you want to. Uh, and let's open up the hips. And staying in balance. Staying in balance in the winds of the world. So there's physical balance, mental concentration, Okay, very good. Let's go into cloud hands. So we're bringing in the fresh energy. We're sending out a brightness and balance. And so this is about balance, left and right, up and down. Okay, good. And now let's flip the wrists so the palms are facing up and down. So first is balance within this mind-body system and balance in the environment, balance in the world. Okay, very good. Okay, good. All right. And now there's the intentionally expressive. And so this is diagonal flying, where we're intentionally expressing this. So we're going to wind up and send the lower hand up, wind up. So this is an expression of the balance that we've created. It's an expression out into the world. And our mind goes with the chi. And this is coming from the thighs, not the shoulders so much. It's an expression of the shift of the weight and coming from the thighs, from pushing off the floor. And that's what sends the hand out there, not so much the shoulder. And you can do this with quite a bit of vigor if you like. My grandson would call this tossing the frisbee. It's not bad, I guess. And an out breath when the hand reaches the top. And don't forget the lower hand. Don't want to focus completely on the upper one. The lower one is expressing also. Okay, so a couple more. Okay. And then at the end of a sequence like this, then we'll turn the palms toward the body and either place the hands directly on the body or a little in front. And this is to consolidate uh, the energy, the attention that's been spread around. We're consolidating that into the torso. And so you can focus on sensations in the palms of the hands and a resonance in the body. And as you breathe, at the end of the out breath, the hands will come a little closer. And at the peak of the in breath, the hands will be a little farther away. Okay, very good. And now in this posture, embracing the dantians, let's just bring to mind and just touch into this vertical column. You could sort of imagine it as this column of light or something like glass that's transparent. It goes that the body is encased in. It goes from the earth all the way up into the universe. Or as sort of this laser beam coming down from the universe, down through the body, down to into the earth. Okay. And the thing to know about this vertical column or axis is that it is conscious. And what that means is that we can move our attention anywhere along the column. So we can have our attention in the heart area, have our attention in the belly. We can drop our attention down and feel and imagine roots going into the ground, drop our attention down into the earth. And with an in-breath, to bring our attention up through the body, through the throat, lighting up the brain. And then out breath, out the top of the head and way up infinitely high. So all of this is available, all these perspectives. Okay. Okay, very good. Very good. Go ahead and break your stance. So this is an abbreviated gesture, of this one, where if we feel a little like there's a little too much tingliness, this is just to release, or if the hands got stiff or something. And so it's taking this posture. So you can just do a quick body scan, just sort of move the attention anywhere on that line in the body, and just sort of sweep the whole system. And then from here, if you want to, you can go into many of the standing breathing practices where you breathe in through the bottom of the feet, or you breathe in through the top of the head, or through the pores of the skin. You can go into any of those. We won't do that tonight. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and bring up our stool or cushion. So the interface between standing and moving Qigong and seated Qigong is not a break. It's continuous. And so let's just go ahead as we sit. And if you like, you can hold your hands in dragon's eye. Uh, is to move the body consciously and with the breath. So one of the most basic ones is just bending at the waist, leaning forward and backward. So you'll notice as you lean forward, you're going to exhale. And then as you go backward, you inhale. And let the head be loose. You can do this at half speed as well. So you lean forward, that's an out breath. Lean back, that's an in breath. Then an out breath. Then lean forward, in breath. And then as you double over, out breath. Or you can just do in breath, back, out breath, forward. And let the head be loose. Okay, very good. Let's reduce the movement. Now we'll just do it with the chin. So we're going to tuck the chin and then bring it back. Make a circle with the chin. In breath. And then as you go forward, out breath. And reduce the movements. And the next is a series of movements called Love Descends on Me, which is taught by Master Lee, who Trisha brought to the Taiji Center way back in the early or mid 90s. And it's a sitting meditation with some movements and gestures. So the teaching is to begin with the Zong Tian movement, which is a cleansing movement. And so we start with the begging dog, and then we're going to put our hands together so that it, like when you were a kid, when you put a plate of grass between your thumbs, there's a little opening between the thumbs. Okay, and we're going to blow into that opening. So let's go back to rest. All right, so with an in breath, begging dog, out breath, in breath, out breath, breathe into the hands. In breath, then the begging dog, and rest. And hands in the Lan Fa, and the next movement is basically, it's like tree and spring. So with the next in breath, and then out breath, and then we're going to take the hands and point toward the body, just like tree and spring. In breath, breathe naturally. Hands go up, eyes follow the hands, and then open, 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 and rest. And the name of this is Love Descends on Me. And so Master Li described this as, in his Chinese English, as satellite dish. So the palms of the hands are angled somewhat upward, and the forehead is somewhat up. And so in this position, as we breathe in, we're envisioning and sensing, breathing in the light of the universe into our forehead and the palms of our hands to our heart. Out breath, just radiate it out. So looking up. Just relax the shoulders as if the elbows are resting on surface. Okay, so the next one, with the out breath, we'll bring the hands back up. And either palms together or slightly apart, come back down to this position is called Supreme Truth. Balancing left and right, up and down, noticing sensations in the palms. This is embracing the heart, the internal heart, and the heart of the universe between the hands. Okay, with the next out breath, send the hands up. Just hold. And the instruction here is, if you have a wish for yourself or for others, or if you have a question, you pose it and hold it between the hands. Knowing that the answer may come at some unexpected time. And then slowly bring the hands down. Return to the rest position. And just remember the satellite dish position, the prayer position, unraveling the heart position. Come back to this one. And then we'll close with the Zongqian movement. So next in breath, breathing dog or a begging dog. Out breath. In breath. And blow into the hands. Begging dog. Let's take a few more breaths. Bring our hands into the prayer position. And may all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings everywhere be free. Okay, let's go ahead and clap our hands one time. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much for your presence and for your practice. And I'll remain if anyone wants to talk. Otherwise, have a good night.